It's your boy Conserviz34, and today I'm going to give a review of the Outlaw Music Festival. Now, specifically, I'm giving a review of the Hartford tour stop, which was yesterday on Father's Day, June 16th, 2019. Happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I spent some time with my dad and one of my grandfathers. I stopped by on the way to the show, and then I had to call my grandpa from the tailgate scene that lives in Massachusetts. But I'm blessed to have great fathers figures and my father himself in my life. Not everyone has that, and I'm grateful. And speaking of fathers, I'm going to talk about this great event where we get to see at the end of it Willie Nelson and his son Lucas and his sister and some other family members from the Nelson family jam out. But first, we're going to go through some of the opening acts that I actually was able to catch, and then we'll end it off with what I thought of Willie Nelson and family. So I didn't see Particle Kid. I just didn't get there that early because I had to handle my business with my family for Father's Day. And I did not see Lucas Nelson and The Promise of the Real. But I can tell you, without seeing anything from the show, without hearing anything, period, from their set, they killed it, okay? It's just, I saw them at Farm Aid. They're amazing musicians, okay? I don't need to be there. I don't care. They didn't miss a note, okay? Everything was on point. Lucas Nelson was jamming out, okay, on his cool guitar. That's all I can say about that. So you heard it from me without even being there. I was not there, but they killed it. All right, so let's move on to the next act. So finally, I get to see the Revivalists. Look, SiriusXM, shout out to Jam on Radio. I listened to that last year, and they had some Revivalist content on there exclusively on SiriusXM Radio, Jam On. And I was like, this band is dope. Like, I was like, all right, I heard the name, I'd heard, Wish I Knew You, but I wish I would have started going to shows a lot earlier than this year. That's all I got to say. They killed it, okay? They killed it. I mean, they added a new percussionist recently to their tour in the last year or so, and that dude was killing it, and the regular drummer was killing it, and the sax and horns and all that stuff mixed in is fluid. And it was only about 30 to 45 minutes, but even in that time, I mean, they won over the crowd. They had very good stage presence, and everything was on point. There's nothing more I can say than I had high expectations, and they got there and then some. And it was a nice teaser to say, hey, Conserviz34, you need to go to the next show. And I was like, yeah, I want to go to the next show. And then I realized they're playing in Queens, New York City this weekend when I'm already going to a concert. But next summer, I'm saving time for the Revivalists. They're always in Boston and New York, and hopefully they come to Connecticut more, but I'm hitting them up in Boston and New York this time, and I'm taking good care. See, I just promoted the new album, Take Good Care. I'm taking good care of making sure that I have arrangements for next tour season. By the way, one thing about the Revivalists I like from listening to their catalog for the last year, their first album, their second album, their third album is all fire, okay? Most people, their new album, their second and third album, it's not as good as the first one. Look, they got some new stuff like Oh No they played in the show, and Oh No sounds dope, okay? It gives me a little Black Keys vibes and the record company vibes, but I love the Revivalists, and this is a band that I plan to start adding to that Humphreys McGee, Dave Matthews Band, any Grateful Dead related thing, where I'm starting to go to multiple shows a year. Again, I'll see you guys on the road for sure next year. Then we have Alison Krauss, and I hope I'm pronouncing the last name right. I apologize if I am doing it wrong, but she was amazing. And one thing I wish I got a closer seat, because with this being a festival, people are walking around getting drinks. People had their kids, they're walking through the aisle. So I felt like in this bigger amphitheater, I was not able to fully enjoy Alison Krauss, as if I was right next to the stage, or if it was an intimate venue. But that girl can sing, and she sang one of the gospel singers. Like, it is well, it is well. I'm not gonna sing it, but she ended the show with that, and she started the show with amazing singing. She plays violin in between her vocals, huh? Like it was very impressed. I heard great things about her. I'm very eclectic, but that country is a blind spot outside of some of the new cats like Chris Stapleton and Sturgill Simpson and Eric Church. I don't know as much older country outside of the, obviously, the legends. But Alison Krauss, I know she's one of the country royalty, but I just didn't know who she was. But now I'm educated. Now I'm gonna check out more of her music. She did a phenomenal job, and her band was awesome. But the way she can sing live, you don't see that anymore with some of these younger acts or older acts. She's amazing. And then again, the band behind her, just very relaxing music. Pretty cool to get. But next time, if she's in the area and she's in a more intimate venue, then that's where I want to check her out, because the larger venue didn't do her justice with all the talking. It's not her fault, but everything else around her. But great job. I love that. And then after all of this, Philly Lesh and Friends, finally get to catch them. I missed them at the Cap a couple times just because of other stuff going on. And finally, I get to see Phil Lesh and Friends. And his friends, they can jam, okay? There's youthfulness. And here's the thing. This isn't as much of a disrespect to Dead & Company, because John Mayer is one of my idols. And I've seen John Mayer more than a lot of artists. And in the Grateful Dead, the Dead & Company, to me, I've seen them a bunch of times. In Connecticut, in New York City, all across. I've seen them in New England. But the thing is, their tempos are a little slower. That's not the case with Phil Lesh and Friends. They was turned up. I got to see everything at real-time tempo of what the Grateful Dead did. It's a little harder rock. There's some wah effects that they did. And I'm uploading Teach Your Children, the Crosby, Still, Nash and Young cover. We got a Terrapin Station, a Terrapin Station that just was boom, fire. Morning Dew, fire. Samson and Delilah, awesome. And Dire Wolf's pretty dope too. Can't discount Dire Wolf. And just a great overall set. New Speedway Boogie, I believe, was like second to last. I'm learning my Dead songs now. Look, it's been like, I don't know how many, but I've been really focused the last 4 years. But even before that, like, I was starting to get into like a lot of this Dead content. Cause long story short, when I was starting to play guitar 10 years ago, the Dead I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't mature enough. I needed to build up my muscle mass and go get educated, 4 years of college, and then I could understand the Dead. And now I get it, and now I love it. So they did an amazing job. Very short set, but to have a Morning Dew and a Terrapin, a Terrapin Station, just was great. So they really impressed me. Phil Lesh and Friends, phenomenal set of folks out there for that set. And that was the set. That was the most lit set to me as far as energy. No disrespect to Willie Nelson and Lucas and the family, but Phil Lesh and Friends, the Philly bombs, they was dropping left and I was dodging. Oh, Phil, the bass bomb. Oh, get back. No. Like, it was dope. So Phil Lesh and Friends did not disappoint. Hopefully I'll see them soon. They come to the Cap all the time, Capitol Theater out in Port Chester. Not too far from about an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's nothing driving wise. So they always, they come up to Boston sometimes too. But I'll definitely have to check them out again. And then yet again, #bless again. Willie Nelson, who not down the street. He was at the at Simsbury Meadows here in the Connecticut River Valley. And he performed there about 4 or 5 years ago. But he has been to Connecticut twice in the last year in the same venue, which is 25 minutes from where I live. So to see Willie Nelson, yet again, an amazing legend who I hadn't seen ever before last Farm Aid, to see him again, same songs, just no matter, I was still mesmerized. To see him play there, Lucas did this, the same type of blues playing he did last time. I'm still looking at like, that's the Father, that's the Son, and they both got the Holy Spirit. That's the only way to explain Willie Nelson and Lucas Nelson is that they're just talent. And his sister's there, and she's getting in the Texas Songwriting Hall of Fame or something, playing the piano, and you got the harmonica player who played with the Dead too. Like, just amazing, so just entertaining and laid back, and just his energy to be so old. That's the thing is, to me, the two things that I take away from Phil Lesh on bass, dropping the bass bombs, and Willie Nelson, which he's in his 80s too. He's a year younger than my grandfather, 86, 1933. Yeah, that's what it is. So, I mean, they're still doing this music thing, and some artists at 40 can't do what they do. They lose it at 40 or 50. I mean, Britney Spears lost it in 2007. Let me stay focused. But anyway, that's not the point, But they are just amazing acts. And I always, got the Allman Brothers behind me. I love seeing these legendary acts that are past my age range when they were retired when I was born in 1990, but to see them still carrying the spirit, like they just they just impress me, and it's just like, wow, I'm fortunate to see these legends while they're living, while they're still here, and I want to see them some more. But overall, a great festival. The only thing is this is my only critique of the festival. The set changes were too freaking long. And I know that some of this may have to do with budget. It may have to do with setups. These are very humble bands. You know, they're not lock-in where they can afford that bajillion-dollar stage. Although I love the promoters of lock-in, and they keep that festival pure. They don't add all this other crap like other festivals that are selling themselves out and not being authentically to the spirit. Like Woodstock 50, that's not gonna fail. But anyway. I like how Lock-In has it on point, and even Farm Aid, and again, they probably have a bigger revenue bucket for one show and one show only to get them in and get them out. But the set changes were 30 to 45 minutes. I just wish that they were able to cut the set changes down or do something where you have a dual stage. Okay, the Revivalists don't need as much. I mean, they could have jammed acoustically, put them all on acoustic guitars for their last 5 songs, and get Alison Krauss set up. Like, it just, the transitions, you were waiting just as long for them to play as they were for the music to be played. And I would have rather seen another 30 minutes of the Revivalists on the side stage or off to this, just vocally, or they go up to the lawn and play in the lawn, and everyone's happy, play acoustic lawn jam in the lawn. There's tons of space. Instead of having to wait just as much time for the Revivalists to play as I was to wait for Alison Krauss to start. That's my only critique. Outlaw Fest, if you see this, great festival. That's just my only constructive criticism. I know these events are very hard to get together, very hard to promote. Even this, to get all these stars, I wish I could have saw the Avid Brothers, but they pull the Avid Brothers off. Yo, you're coming to this stop, this stop, this stop. Hey, Revivalists, I know you're going to Queens next week. You coming to Hartford. Okay, Alison Krauss, get over here. Phil Less and Friends. Okay, you're playing in the band. You're playing in the band in Hartford today, and you did Bane yesterday, and you went over to here the day before. Like, it's a great job to grab these artists in between their other tours. So it's a great event. If it comes back to Hartford next year, I will be going again and again. The $25 plus fees for a mid-level pavilion seat, you can't beat that. Again, some of these tickets for the lawn for people who suck. Some bum country, bro country thing is more than what I paid to see these legends who are about the music. Not about trucks or jeans or about pyrotechnics, about the freaking music. Outlaw Fest is about the music. It's a rebellion to mainstream culture, and it's about keeping the blues and the country and soul alive. Well, not as much soul, but the country and the blues and everything else. The music isn't stopping. Great music from young artists. The Revivalists, they really young. Talking about they're in their 20s. All my friends take good care of me. All the way to Willie Nelson and Philly Les. Philly Les just turned 80 last year. Willie Nelson is 86, and they slaying it. That's all I got to say. It's your boy Conserviz34. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'm out. Peace. Never miss a Sunday show.